Hey everybody, I'm back and I wanted to quickly do a video called Dealing with Separation Part 1. I wanted to do this video yesterday, but as you can see, it's written all over my face. The past few days have been extremely hard for me, so, I had to get it done today. But for all my new subscribers who don't know the backstory or the history on me and my relationship, I'll just fill you in. I am currently in Japan. That's why it's so bare. We're transitioning to move back to the States. They've taken all our furniture and we just have loaner furniture. So excuse all the clothes. My husband is in the Navy, been Navy 7 years, and he is currently underway, deployed, whatever you want to call it. He will be returning very soon. We've been married almost 6 years. He's been in the Navy 7 years, and we deal with separation a lot. So that's what this is about. And separation, this is just not for military spouses. Ugh, I hate that term. It's not for married spouses. It's not just for dating. It could be you separate from your best friend, you're separated from your mom, separated from your church. We all have one thing in common. Separation is hard, it's challenging, and it's not fun. So I don't want to be the only one talking. I want your input as well. Even though this is my channel, I want to give advice and get advice. So I hope that it'll work both ways with us. So separation, yeah, it's no fun. These past few days I've been feeling it. It's painful. It's been hurting. I miss my husband so much. I want him home. And especially the nights are rough for me, being alone and sleeping alone. And it's hard to hear my kids crying for their dad at night and asking when he's coming home. If you don't know, I have a 6-year-old who will be 7 on Monday. And I have a 2-year-old who will be, no, 2-year-old, what am I talking about? A 3-year-old who will be 4 the day after Christmas. So they're at the age where they're old enough where they know that daddy's not home. Daddy hasn't been home for a while. And where's my daddy, And when he first left, I had to deal with them crying in the middle of the night. Sometimes I have to deal with them acting out. Church, school, whatever the case may be. I have to deal with it all because my husband's job right now is to be in the military. He can't, as much as he wants to, he can't come home, and sometimes the phone calls make it worse. When they talk to him and they finally hear his voice, you would think it makes it better, but sometimes, it makes it worse, and they think about it more and they cry more. So all around, separation sucks. So I've been feeling some kind of strange way these past couple of days, just because moving in itself is hard, but having to do it by yourself, like when we came here, I had to do everything by myself, schedule the moves and all those type of things. And that's a challenge because frustration wants to rise up in you, and sometimes it can cause division between you and your spouse because you kind of feel like, well, I'm here doing all this, what are you doing? Even though you know that they're away only because they have to be, not because they want to be. So the way I've been dealing with my separation is trying to keep myself busy, which one of the ways was YouTube. YouTube is really a way for me to stay busy. It's something I enjoy. It's something I love. I love making the videos, and if I could help if I could help anyone along the way, then that makes me feel good too. It's about reaching people, and I like that. But lately, YouTube just hasn't been doing it. I've slowed down the videos because of the move, and I kind of haven't felt like it. So take that away. And what do you have? Take YouTube away. I deleted my Facebook account because Facebook has become a distraction in my life, a big distraction, and it just seems like it's really not it's really not good for me and my family right now. It's, people coming out the woodwork, anybody can find you, and sometimes it just brings about things, unnecessary things. So Facebook, it had to go. It just, when things become a distraction in your life, where you're not praying as much as you used to, you're not reading your word as much as you used to, you know that those things are not good for you. And that's what happened. I started slowing up on my praying. I started slowing up on reading my Bible. I was falling asleep, forgetting to pray and stuff like that. And it was just that cannot happen, because the reason we wake up every morning is because God allows us to. He wakes us up. And the least that we can do is pray to Him, thank Him. Prayer is something that we need to do. And reading our word is our strength. So those two things, they have to be in our lives. Well, they have to be in my life. So Facebook had to go. But back to separation. Separation is not easy. It's not easy. The way I deal with it now, God, He's my only comfort, because man cannot comfort me the way that I feel, and the sadness I feel. Nobody can comfort that except God. And I have to pray to Him for my comfort, because depression is not a spirit. It's not something that's of God. It's not something that I will claim in my life. It's not depression, but it's just a sadness because I want to be with my husband. And it's getting harder, even though I know he's coming home. It seems so far away. I only have, a little time left. And maybe the anxiety of moving, sometimes the unknown is something that's very scary for people, because we're human. So that's something that has kind of been getting to me. Where will my son go to school? Where will we live? What car will we drive? But then I realized that worrying is a kind of almost like, if you worrying, do you really trust? And I trust that God will provide for us. He always has. I trust that He will fulfill all our needs, whatever our desires. He'll give it to us if we ask Him, and if our heart and our motives are right. But the fleshly part of you wants to be nervous, wants to be scared, and so dealing with that, I have to pray that stuff off of me, and it's a lot. But how do you deal with separation? What do you do? How long have you guys been separated? Separation is not fun, and I know that people say that, of course, you knew he was in the military and you signed up for that and it should be easy, but it's still not easy. And I was in the prior army. I was Army, so I kind of got a little taste of what it would be like. I kind of knew, like, when I married my husband, what it was going to be like, because my first duty station was Korea. Automatically I was out of there. As soon as I graduated, on the next flight, smoking. So I kind of knew, but even with that, it didn't make it any easier, because I am so in love with this man. I love him. He's my best friend. No, our relationship is not perfect. We go through a lot of things. We've been through a lot of things, which later on along this channel will, express to you guys and share with you our testimony, because some people will get set free from our testimony. So that'll have to happen. But even still, being in the Army and knowing what it was like, it doesn't make it any easier, because when you love someone that much, why would you want to be away from them? I don't understand. Like, when I first came up here, so many Navy wives were like, well, you'll get so used to it, and then eventually you'll just want him to be gone, and it won't even bother you. I think that there's an issue when people say that. I don't know if there's an issue in your mind or your relationship, but I'm never going to feel like I want my husband to be gone for 6 and 7 months at a time. No, and miss birthdays, Christmas, Thanksgiving. That's not what I want out of my marriage. I married someone to be with them, point blank period. Not to be like, oh, I can't wait till they go on their next deployment. And I just could not understand why people were saying that to me. And it was not just one person, it was numerous people saying, girl, you're gonna wish that man left. I haven't got to that point yet. I mean, yeah, there's times when we get in arguments at home, and I'm just like, ooh, you just get on my nerves so bad. And and I'm like, ooh, go somewhere, sleep on the couch. But even still, I don't like when he sleeps on the couch. Like, even when we fight, I'm like, you need to be right in this bed with me, because I don't mind opening the door for the devil. So, I love him. Isn't it crazy how you can be so in love with somebody, but they just work your nerves so bad? That is my husband, and you'll see. For everybody who hasn't met him, a few more days, you're gonna see. He works my nerve. Like, we're so stubborn, the two of us. It is crazy how stubborn we are, and we both think that we're right about everything. So I love him. But I guess this was kind of like a vent session. Part one, I wanted to do by myself. Part two will feature my friends who are also military spouses. I hate that, but it's true. Their spouses are in the military, and not like that's okay, this Navy spouse clique or whatever. But right now I'm on a Navy base and I'm in Japan, and that's all I know is Navy spouses. But I would like to hear the input of spouses, friends, whatever. Separation is hard for everybody. It doesn't matter if you're a military spouse. People deal with separation every day, and it's not like it's any easier for people who their spouses are not in the military. So, oh, somebody's car is really, yeah, that's somebody's car outside. I think they need a new timing belt. But that's pretty much all. I have to read my word. I have to stay busy. I have to be on YouTube. I have to, when there's functions, I have to go, because sitting at home feeling sad can lead to a very, very dark place. And that's somewhere that I don't want to go. I've been there before, and I don't want to go back to a place like that. So whenever your friends are having like little functions, go. Wherever you're invited to something, go. You have to get to a point where you kind of take your mind off of the sadness, and I'm missing him, and phone calls help, and Skype when he pulls in, that helps, and emails help, and all that helps. But of course, what will help the most is just having him home. So I hope I didn't ramble on too much. I don't even know if I got my point across in this video. I think this turned into like a major vent session, but I'm glad that you guys listened. So all right, okay, so thanks for watching. Part two with my friends is coming very soon. Rate, comment, and subscribe. See you guys next time.